1 minute ago, Dubai looked unstoppable. Cranes filled the skyline. Towers rose faster than anywhere else on Earth. It felt like the city was racing the future and winning. But today, something strange is happening. Look closely at the skyline now, and you'll notice what's missing. The cranes are disappearing. For a city built on constant construction, that's a big deal. Dubai became famous for never standing still. From the Burj Khalifa to palm-shaped islands, it turned ambition into concrete and glass. Every year brought a bigger, taller, more shocking project. But now, the pace has slowed. Not stopped, but changed. Fewer mega projects. More completed skylines. And a quiet question that no one is asking out loud: has Dubai already built what it set out to build? Because when the cranes go down, it usually means one thing: the city has reached a turning point. Is Dubai finished growing upward? Or is something deeper happening behind the scenes? In this video, we're breaking down why new cranes aren't going up like before, what it says about the city's future, and whether Dubai's skyline has finally reached its limit. To understand what's happening now, you have to go back to the boom years. Early 2000s Dubai was a construction machine. Oil money helped, but the real strategy was bigger than that. Dubai wanted to become a global hub for tourism, business, and luxury living. And it worked. Developers launched massive projects almost overnight. Entire districts appeared where there was once desert. Dubai Marina, downtown Dubai, Business Bay, these weren't just neighborhoods. They were statements. Cranes became a symbol of confidence. At one point, Dubai reportedly had over 20% of the world's cranes operating within the city. That's how intense the growth was. Investors poured in from around the world. Property prices surged. Off-plan sales exploded. Buying an apartment before it even existed became normal. Then came the global financial crisis in 2008. Projects stalled. Some were cancelled. But Dubai adapted quickly. It restructured, refocused, and came back even stronger in the 2010s. Expo 2020 became another catalyst. New infrastructure, new districts, and a fresh wave of development pushed the skyline even further. For 2 decades, Dubai built upward without hesitation. So why does it feel like that momentum has slowed today? The truth is, cranes aren't disappearing because Dubai is failing. They're disappearing because Dubai is maturing. First, supply has caught up with demand, at least in key areas. There are now thousands of completed residential units, office towers, and hotels. The urgency to keep building at the same speed just isn't there anymore. Second, developers are becoming more selective. Instead of launching dozens of massive projects, they're focusing on profitability, design quality, and long-term value. That means fewer cranes, but smarter construction. Third, global conditions matter. Higher interest rates, inflation, and shifting investor behavior have made developers more cautious. Even in a strong market, timing matters. And finally, land itself is changing. Prime locations in central Dubai are already developed. Building something new now often means redeveloping existing spaces, or moving further out. So when you see fewer cranes, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means the strategy has changed. Dubai is no longer trying to prove itself. It's refining what it has already built. Dubai's focus is shifting from rapid expansion to sustainability and livability. Instead of asking, how tall can we build? The question is now, how well can people live here? We're seeing more mixed-use developments. Communities designed around walkability, green space, and lifestyle, not just height. Projects like Dubai Hills Estate and newer waterfront developments reflect this change. There's also a stronger push toward economic diversification. Technology, finance, logistics, and remote work are becoming central to Dubai's growth model. That changes what kind of buildings are needed, and how many government policies are playing a role too. Long-term visas, business-friendly regulations, and tax advantages are attracting residents, not just investors. That creates more stable, long-term demand rather than speculative spikes, and let's not ignore infrastructure. Airports, ports, and transit systems are expanding quietly in the background. These aren't as visible as cranes, but they shape the city just as much. Dubai isn't slowing down. It's evolving. The skyline may not be rising as dramatically, but the foundation underneath it is getting stronger. So, is Dubai's skyline actually finished? Not quite. There are still major projects in progress. New towers are being planned. And ambitious ideas haven't disappeared. Dubai has built its reputation on surprise, and it's unlikely to abandon that completely. But the era of constant, aggressive vertical growth may be ending. Not because it failed, but because it succeeded. Dubai already has one of the most recognizable skylines in the world. The Burj Khalifa still dominates. The city has achieved what it set out to do, become a global icon. Now the challenge is different. It's about maintaining that status while improving quality of life, economic resilience, and long-term sustainability. In a way, fewer cranes might actually be a sign of success. It means the city isn't chasing growth for the sake of it anymore. Instead, it's choosing when, and why, to build. Dubai's skyline isn't frozen. It's just entering a new phase. The cranes may be fewer, but the ambition is still there, just more focused, more strategic, and less chaotic. Cities don't grow in straight lines. They go through cycles. Rapid expansion, correction, refinement. Dubai is now in that refinement stage, and that's not a weakness. It's what mature global cities look like. So the next time you look at Dubai and notice fewer cranes, don't assume the story is over. It might actually be the beginning of a more sustainable, and more interesting, chapter, because the real question isn't whether Dubai can build higher, it's whether it can build smarter, and that answer is still being written. And here's what most people miss: cranes were never the goal. They were just a phase. What matters now is how the city functions once the building slows down. Are people staying longer? Are businesses growing sustainably? Is the infrastructure keeping up with real life, not just ambition? Dubai is now being tested in a different way. Not by how fast it can rise, but by how well it can endure. And that's a harder challenge to measure, but a far more important one. Because in the end, a finished skyline doesn't mean a finished city. It means the real story is just getting started. So what happens next for Dubai? The next phase won't be defined by height, but by precision. Expect fewer record-breaking towers and more projects that solve real problems: housing mix, transport flow, climate comfort, and energy use. You'll see smarter districts instead of isolated landmarks. Buildings that connect to transit, integrate green space, and use tech to manage heat and power more efficiently. Retrofitting older areas will matter as much as building new ones. There's also a shift in who the city is for. Not just short-term investors, but long-term residents building careers and families. That changes everything, from school capacity to public spaces to pricing stability. Dubai isn't done. It's recalibrating. And if this phase works, the city won't just look impressive from afar, it'll work better up close, every single day.